Hello everyone, my name is Ravi Kumar. Today we will discuss about product life cycle, like life cycle of any product that from the production to the customers. So we will just discuss this whole journey. First of all, we are discussing here theoretical background. Product life cycle is most of the time used as an effective tool of decision making in supply chain management and for its operations. This helps companies to be in the control of its products across the life cycle because if not controlled, this can affect customer and company itself. This is impact of product life cycle in supply chain management and its operations. There are four stages or in a product's life cycle: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. So we will mainly discuss them today. The product life cycle naturally tends to have a positive impact on economic growth as it promotes innovation and discourages supporting outdated products. As products move through the life cycle stages, companies that use products life cycle can realize the need to make their products more effective, safer, efficient, faster, cheaper, or conform better to client needs, because the client needs are more important thing in any business, and production and marketing and providing the product to the market and providing it to the customers. So these all are things just under the examination of the customers needs, that what are their needs and what customers demand. So every product any company just any or any firm just produce, so they just consider the that it should be matching with the customer needs actually. Now let's start with the introduction to the industry. Manufacturing industry is growing day by day, and it has very great relation with product life cycle because it relates to different stages and products have different phases too. For example, Pakistan has steadily been growing as an industrial hub with around 18% of its GDP contributed by the manufacturing industry as of 2021. When any product is manufactured, its very first stage is in this phase. Manufacturing companies are trying to gain initial market share. Like initial market share is like a consideration about like our product will work or not, often as a result of a gap in the market or a failure of a competitive product. In initial phase, there is risk that product might fail and all manufacturing cost can go in vain if customers does not like this. So customer does not like a product. There are in many senses like that it can be like cost justification about the product. Like if your competitor is providing that cheaper than you, then customer won't be getting that from you either, if it's not qualitative or anything like that. If the product is mostly same as the competitors is, so if the price differentiates, like your product's price is high, so customer wants. And many other things as well, like if your product's quality is not good or your product is not meeting the needs and wants of the customer, or they are just not being completely satisfied with the product, so surely the product will fail. So theoretical highlights to industry with examples. Let's just have some examples as well here. Initial stage of production, uh, sweaters and jackets have very less acceptance in summers. If the company is producing, they must look to the forecasting and then introduce products. Time to market is essential in this phase, and suppliers need to be able to respond quickly to accelerating market demands. Uneven schedules and quick changes in design or operating characteristics, these suppliers embrace their roles. For example, second example is here. Manufacturing industry is mobile phone and computers because they have very short life cycle, and this also requires proper information to produce the product. So here we are just having a look, like the similarity is in these both examples that the digital things has also digital things should be like nobody can just assume its life, like how long they will last. And even the sweaters and jackets are also like that, that people will use them seasonal, and in the summer season they won't use them. And the mobile phones or digital things, here is the example, like people will use them until they can, until the latest model or latest thing is not being introduced in market. So here, in these both examples, have to just highlight the things. Theoretical highlights to industry with examples again. Here is the example that relates with growth stage. In the growth stage, the demand begins to accelerate and the size of the total market expands rapidly. It might also be called the takeoff stage. Like it why it calls called as takeoff, because when you are just approaching the market and you are just approaching to the customer needs, so the product surely will go high, and its supply and demand graph will increase, like it will move to the peak point. So it will start, like your journey has been started, or your product is just in the market. When company manufactures any technical product, phone, it must use the branding accordingly and manufacture according to needs and wants of the customer, as we have just discussed this point. At the growth stage of phone, there was increased competition as MP3 players became all the rage. Because of this competition, Apple introduced variations of the iPod with the iPod Mini, iPod Nano, iPod Shuffle, and iPod Touch. By doing this, they continued their growth and gained popularity amongst their market. As the Apple brand name is not new for all, because most of the people just are familiar about Apple. And it's the brand because its services, its products are more likely to the people. Like what customer likes, they are approaching most of the needs of the customer. Most of the wants are just being matched with their products, and their softwares, their techniques, their technologies, their shapes, or any other qualities of the products. So these all are just being familiar for everyone in whole world. We can say just in one country, because most of the countries are just, the Apple sale is just on the peak. So this is why, this is because of they are matching with the customer needs, customer wants, except than other competitors. So maturity stage, let's discuss this, of product. By the time the product has matured, competitors are often in the market and cost must be reduced to maintain profits without sacrificing market share. Like in Apple companies, we are just getting an example, like Apple just introduced its iPhone 13. So the initial prices were too high, and many of the people were just claiming about the things, like we just want our claim back, and this not worth anymore, like you have just suggested the price is not is not fair with this product. So they just decrease the price for a time being, and then and the after a couple of time, or after some duration, when the sale was increased, then they again just maintain the price uh, without just compromising their shares and anything. So this is like that, there should be a maintenance between product and cost as well. Like customers should not be like feeling inconvenient for buying any product, or they just do not suffer for many things. Continuing with example of iPods and iPhone made a few years later, the iPod seemed to reach the maturity stage as sales peaked, then started to decline. Same goes with the sweaters and jackets that previously explained, because there comes a time when customers buy products and then the phase comes which is declining, and company must stop producing winter things in higher quantities. Like as I have just discussed, that these are seasonal products, so surely in the summertime the demand and the supply will be decreased. Surely it will be decreased as much it can. Now the decline phase, production quantities continue to fall as are related to material purchases. There are supplier challenges as well, cost of purchase content increases as the quantities purchased are low and often poorly forecasted, resulting in special orders and extended lead times. Whenever manufacturing company produces products on seasonal basis, then they fall fast in decline stage and wrap up the activities and costs, which cause a huge loss for the companies. Like when the season changes, so the sweaters and jackets are just going to be vanished from the stores. Like then the summer collection being on the display and they will be on the fire in the sale. So surely, yeah, this is because the designs becomes older and people just want something new, and the new designs just overtake the old designs. So old designs, the products are just going to be in kind of loss. So some products that are already in the decline phase are as follows: diesel vehicles, personal computers, wired earphones, headphones. So these are actually huge examples. Like diesel vehicles are very few nowadays. Like most of the vehicles, like personal vehicles, are on the petrol, or even the petrol vehicles are just being now reduced with the competition of the electric cars. So same as that. So diesel vehicles are just being vanished almost. Personal computers are just there is just no any there's no such interest of people to have this because of its size and its weight. So people are just moving to laptops and iPads, iPhones as the latest technologies. Wired earphones are also tough to keep and just tough to use them. So wireless things are just in the market and people are just going ahead with them. And here are all the references about this presentation. Thank you.